You've had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce, but have you had them covered in sauce? Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo or honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker out there, you can try spicy ghost pepper only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. Listen, I'm going to dare you to do it. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs that you already love. Pick a flavor. Grab some extra napkins and then grab a few more napkins and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Let's go into the actual game.
Man, the actual game. Oh, geez. I actually went home and I actually watched bits and pieces of it on my YouTube TV before I went to bed. It just because, as I've said a billion times, me watching on the field I don't get to see some of the things, so I just needed to rewatch a couple things just to verify what I was seeing, and maybe some things that I had missed.
I love that because you know what I did, Rob?
What?
The exact same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just make this up into a segment.
Sure.
I just want to go play by play.
Okay.
Which were the ones that you wanted to revisit? And then we'll go and dissect it.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. There were a couple of plays. They weren't really like noticeable big plays. I just for me, mostly it was more about the trends. One of the big things for me, I'll start off. One of the big things for me was when I was watching this from a field view, when Syracuse ran the ball, and they didn't run it a lot, right? They ran it, let's see. They ran it a total of 38 times for 156 yards, with only 8 yards lost. So a net of 148. It just looked like we would collapse the gaps properly, but we wouldn't fill the gaps properly. So what I was seeing was LaQuint Allen would start. He would get the handoff, and we would collapse his first gap. So he has to jump into a second one, but there was no one to fill the second one. And it was open, and he would go right through it. That's what I was seeing. And I have it in my pictures too. Like, you just see where the gaps are every single time. And there is no safety. There's no running back or a linebacker that is there to fill that gap. And I do wonder if Cade being out, that was the big miss. Look, I'm not a defensive guru by any means, but you have gap integrity, which is like in assignments, which is by design. But you also have times where the offense, of course, is going to move the gaps, right? They're going to shift you. So does a guy have the instincts to know which gap to fit in, whether it's because of tape or it's just animal instinct? I think that's where we missed Cade. I don't think we had that guy that had a little bit of the animal instinct in him. I think him and Teddy are great because they work together in tandem for all those things. But not having one and that experience really did not help. And then Liam Johnson and Hunter Barth, I think, did, admirable jobs as much as they could, but they're not Cade.
Yep.
And you saw that, like when they attacked Hunter or Liam, like you saw the difference there. So that was one of the things that I was looking for. Is what I was like, is that right? Like, we've been this season a not bad run defense, but like, are we really giving up that many like just open lanes for these running backs to run through? And we did.
Yeah, yes, we did. That was real.
We did.
Okay, I love that. My first one is the throw that Fernando had intended for Tobias Merriweather.
The interception. The second interception.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because when I saw it, I was like, that was actually a good read. I just think it's like, I thought it would have been a good play to break it up. I thought it was a great play to get an interception by that DB.
Yeah, I thought it was a good 50-50 play. But
No, that's
oh,
what it was.
that was just it. That was just
So
it.
it was kind of confirmed in watching
Oh,
it.
okay.
I mean, I think the one thing for Nando to take back on that one is just to actually, if he had put a little bit more, if he gets that ball like 4 inches higher, I think that's completed.
Yeah.
And if he gets that ball further, it's a touchdown.
Yep. I 100% agree. Nam and I actually talked about that in the car ride. Was just like that play. I think it's perfect. I think that's the type of shot you want to take. I honestly think what it comes down to is just the two of them not having played together enough, where you don't really know where the wide receiver likes the ball or how high he can jump or how high he can catch the ball in real time versus just in practice. So I think that's where it was. Yeah. That's a good one. I mean, I'll piggyback off that one and go back to the first interception. And I guess there's a bigger question I want to ask you on this too. But the first interception, when I saw it happen, I was just like, all right, it's exactly the same as the end of the Miami game interception and the Wake Forest interception.
Yeah.
Did not see the other inside linebacker, sticky eyes to the one guy running the mesh route, and just followed him, tracked him, threw it, did not account for the other linebacker to slide in front and jump the pass.
Yep.
And so having rewatched it, I was like, yep, that's exactly the same. Nando has had an incredible stretch of games, but the interceptions that he's thrown, at least one in every game, has been like that. Like it's been like it just a bad decision. Like it wasn't a bad throw. It was just a bad decision to throw there. I guess this kind of leads to other segments we do, but is there a panic or not panic of, is this becoming a trend or is it just growing pains?
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write a million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Is it a trend or is it growing pains? The nice piece of this is that if we can diagnose it, then so can they. Right? Like D coordinators can leverage this, but I think also that that Sterling Gilbert and like they're going to be able to get that fixed over time. The thing with Nando that I wouldn't say I would ever panic with him on is like the dude has got this growth mindset, if you will, to use a tech term, but like he's got like this growth mindset about him that I just think he's adaptable and he learns a lot from when he makes mistakes. In my opinion, it may not be in the season, but like over time we've seen him get better and better, and you kind of got to live and die with like in such a positive way. For me, it's like he's so clearly your quarterback next year. That it's just got to be one of those things that you have a long-term lens with and say, yeah, okay, you're not seeing this, you're not making the right read here, but we could have lived with one. The big thing was two. And like, because it really was, I don't mean to make it seem like this game was closer than it really was. It wasn't, and I understand why people say the scoreboard was really friendly to Cal, because it was. But I think that this game still would have been different with and not giving Syracuse an extra possession. I think one's going to happen. I think two's where you have an issue.
No, I agree. I think the only concern I have was I am okay if the one comes from a 50-50 ball thrown to Tobias Merriweather down the sideline. Mm-hmm. That I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I think Wilcox can also live with that. I think the one I can't live with is staring down your wide receiver and not accounting for a defender and tossing it into double coverage.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where it's like, it's more likely than 50% that it's going to get batted down or picked off.
Yep.
So that's where my concern lies, is if the one interception comes on a deep ball that you took a shot at, perfectly fine. We'll make up for it. But a decision-making error and not accounting and making the right read, that's the one that I would not, I don't want to happen. But it has happened in the last few games.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair enough.
I love that. I think that's very fair. Let's see. What else did I want to relive? I wanted to see how short the field goal was. Turns out it was pretty short.
Yep, fairly short, and it was not a good kick from the offset. Like, it was just not. Yeah,
I didn't really understand that. I kind of thought we had it dialed in. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. We got Co for the long. I thought 47 would be considered long range.
yeah.
Let's talk about the decision. Where did you land on the decision on accepting the penalty to go to third and forever, or do you let them kick the field goal to go up 6-0?
They ended up accepting, right?
We
To
declined.
let them kick.
Yeah.
I thought that was fine. It felt like it's on brand with how the defense has played. Our defense this year has definitely been bend not break, right? Like, just as a trend through the game. Of course, there's games where we've gotten broken out towards the end, but as a trend, it's been bend not break, and I think we were okay giving up 3 points on 2 drives or 6 points on 2 drives, instead of giving them the potential opportunity of breaking us down on a third down and getting another set of downs to go for the end zone. So
You and I are too similar. I said the same thing in the stadium. I said the reason why you kicked the field goal there, or you let him kick the field goal, is I also think, look, like, let's be honest. The thing I said is that we haven't done well in third and long situations.
We haven't.
We just haven't.
No.
There's been defensive holding, or it's, whatever it is. So, and then if you, I imagine the reverse of that. So you accept the penalty, and then they go down and score a touchdown. Now you're down 10-0, and everyone's going, well, why the hell did you accept the penalty? They were going to kick a field goal. You can't really win if you're a coach in that situation, but I agree with you. It didn't bother me at all. I think I did agree that the field goal at the end that Co kicked, as much as I was so happy for him and to get that shot, and I actually thought that, like, over how the game played out. Well, this is great because it was going to lead to my last one, but second to last one, over how the game played out, that field goal decision wasn't as costly as it could have been. However, I think we should have gone for it because we needed touchdowns. We didn't need field goals. And I said to my dad, whoever 23 is on Syracuse is hella fast. Mm-hmm. Like, Javian Thomas on his touchdown, mm-hmm. I saw that dude 23 like gaining on him.
Yeah, I was right behind him. Yeah.
Gaining. I was, who is this guy? Remind me of the dude from who is it? USC days, the Niners drafted.
Niners drafted Taylor Rapp.
Yeah. Taylor. No.
Was it Taylor Rapp? Oh,
The other,
Lott. Was it? No, it's not Lott. Are you
No,
sure
it's
it's from SC?
yeah. Dude,
I was thinking Adric Jackson.
He challenged Javid to a 40-yard dash in the hotel lobby at the Senior Bowl.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh shoot. Okay. Anyways, yes. I know. Yeah. This is gonna bug me. He played that, like, hybrid linebacker safety
Taylor
spot.
Mays.
Taylor Mays. There you go. Taylor Mays.
Yeah. You had it. Okay. Anyways, he's super fast. So when Jaden got tackled, I turned to my dad and said, "That's going to be a huge play. Most likely, we're going to look back like there's that could, that really needed to be a touchdown." Yeah. And sure enough, we came away with 3 points, but we needed a touchdown there.
We need a touchdown. I wasn't. I don't. I know people were pissed that we went for 3 and not the score. I was okay with it just because I felt like our defense was getting enough stops to get the ball back. I was just more worried that our offense wouldn't be able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
And that's where my concern was. I wasn't, in terms of game theory, like I wasn't really concerned with the numbers game there. Like I thought 3 was fine. You just needed points. It didn't matter how to come back. And, you know, you kind of did. You know, if the game was maybe 5 minutes longer, you probably make that comeback. But you just ran out of time. So.
I think I had one more.
Yeah, what did you have?
DB by DB. Who did this analysis? Was it Nick again? Lots of Nick shout outs today.
It was probably Nick, TD, or Avi.
So it might have been TD. The defensive back play, I can't do it. I can't call him out. But like, there's a clear pattern here. And there's one of our safeties who keeps getting pulled into one-on-one coverage, and he's getting beat a lot. And I've noticed it to the naked eye that when they're able to get our safety out on one-on-one, we're losing that a lot. And it was a big thing that I noticed during the game, and I've noticed a pattern this season, and upon rewatch, it unfortunately confirmed that as well.
I think the last thing for me on that regard too was the prepping on the Syracuse team was we have to force them to throw deep, medium to deep. Force Kyle McCord to throw medium to deep, and because his ball in that space isn't really that accurate, and we can probably turn the ball over a couple times.
Well, we did not do that.
We did not do that. We let them dink and dunk all game.
Okay.
And then Nam mentioned that like we were running soft press. So they were just running short out routes, and we would just give it to them for, you know, the 4-yard gain, the 5-yard gain here and there. So I went back to watch it because I was like, did we not change it at any point? Did we not press them at any point? We did not press them at any point. And so I am so confused as to what the game plan was for this game. Was it just to die by 1,000 cuts? Like that's kind of what it ended up being, and we didn't change it up whatsoever. And they ended up with what? 323 pass yards on 29 of 46. Average per completion was 11.1 yards. So I was just confused with the game plan.
It was
defensively.
Easy. It was easy for them.
It was I mean, yeah. If I was like, okay, if that's what you're willing to give them, what are you going to combat it with to stop them? But we didn't have a counter move. There was no defensive setup. It was not like, okay, then we're gonna drop a linebacker into the flat. We're gonna drop an outside linebacker into the flat to cover underneath those soft out routes after we give it to you for so long, and then we're gonna pick you off right there. But those things that never came. It was just we were just running 4-man rush with those guys on the outside, like basically 1-on-1. And I mean, Noel did as good of a job. Corners did as good of a job as you expect them to do if you're playing soft coverage on short out routes. They didn't explode for more. But like, some of it just did not make sense. You know what the craziest stat was from this game is not both teams. Neither team punted once.
No.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah.
I swear I saw Lachlan Wilson out there. I made that up?
There are... Oh, sorry. No punt returns. Every single punt... I left out a word. Punt returns. There was not a single punt return.
Huh. Again, the best special teams is kind of one that's unknown.
Yeah.
When we're not calling it out. All right. I'm ready to close the books on this game.
Yeah. I will... Oh, one last note. A very, very high IQ play early in the game.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Was when the ball was going out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds and caught the ball from Noel Williams. Genius. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
All right. And on that note, players of the game.
God, this is gonna be tough.
Yo, Javian Thomas on offense.
I mean, buddy, if you remove his 75-yard touchdown run, he had 2 attempts for 5 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Only 2 attempts, which is mind-blowing. Why?
Jaden had 11. I mean, it's not like this game had a lot of offensive plays.
No.
Nando only threw 34 times, and we only rushed 23, so about 50 plays. Like,
Again, I think you just gotta let it go.
yeah.
I'll give it to Jaden on his touchdown run. Jaden, but he just there's something wrong with him running the football. It's just not working. The
He's
whole
not
line,
100%.
like, it's just not there. I don't know defensively, dude. We might have to pass. Is that allowed?
I guess. I'll go with Teddy. I'm just looking at the stat lines here, and it is an MVP. It looks like an MVP stat line from a regular game. He's got 4 solo tackles, 10 assists. It's a 14 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack and a forced fumble,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and a quarterback hurry.
Unanimous decision, Teddy Buchanan.
Teddy Buchanan. And then for me on offense,
Yeah, good luck.
I'll go Isaiah Hunter because I think he had probably one of the greatest catches of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
He had that like jumping backwards, like 1.5 hand type catch. Super sick catch.
That's a great pick.
Yeah. You want to know a funny side note about after the game?
Always.
After the game, we pack up. We're out. Nam, me, Avi, our buddy Alex, and TD. We're like, we should get dinner. What do you want to do? We're like, it's cold. You know, we've been sitting out here in the wind. Let's go get some pho. We're like, great. Where do we go? I was like, all right, we can go to my spot, which is Pho Auzen on San Pablo and up in Albany. And they were like, all right, let's do it. So we go. Get a table, sit down. As we're eating, group walks in, maybe 6-7 people. A couple of them wearing Ott jerseys, a couple of people wearing Cal jerseys. We're like, cool. And then Nam goes like, isn't that Jaden? And we're like, what? No, there's no way. We like look over. It's like a dude that looks like Jaden, but it's not really Jaden. So we're like, it's probably just someone that looks like him. We're like, all right, just keep eating. A couple minutes later, Jaden Ott walks through the door.
This whole family?
It's his family. And he sits down and with his family, and they're eating pho after a game. A man of culture, as Nam would say. And so we finished eating, and then Nam was wearing his shirt that says him, the H with the 1 and the M. And so he took off his sweater, had the shirt out. I walked out first. I didn't make eye contact with him or anything because they were sitting next to the door. I walked out, and I guess Nam followed behind him, and then I hear like some giggles behind me and some laughter, and I look back, and it's like they made eye contact with Jaden, and Jaden saw the shirt that Nam was wearing, and then like gave him a smile and like a nod of like appreciation and knowing, or like just acknowledgement. And so we got that, and then we left, and we're talking about it in the car. But I DM'd Jaden because I have his DM just because of photos that I send him and stuff. And I was like, hey, just want to let you know that was us that you saw at the restaurant. Like, we wanted to like talk to you a little bit, but you were with your family. We didn't want to make a big deal out of it. So hope the pho is great. And he was like, he's like, love y'all. You're the greatest. And I sent that to Nam and Avi this morning, and they were like so happy. They were like acknowledged by Jaden Ott. So
I love that.
it's a nice little lore moment for the season.
It was. It really was. All right. Big game.
Big game.
Cool. So, I mean, basically what we have coming up on the Bearcast.
You're gonna preface it.
We have a really special friend of the pod episode that's going to come out Wednesday. And it's a special for Big Game Week. So you're not going to get a ton of Big Game Week here today. I'm so excited for everybody to have a chance to hear from this person and the opportunity to highlight their story, their path, and just celebrate everything that is so special about some of our former players. And that's all I'm going to say. But I hope everyone enjoys it as much as it was fun for me to be able to record. And we missed Rob having you on there, but I'm just so excited for everybody.
Yeah. Andy did all by his lonesome self. I still haven't listened to it. I'm going to wait until it drops, even though I'm editing it, so I'll hear the beginning part. But it's definitely a special one. Like, it's someone that you probably aren't even expecting. It was like, I was surprised that we somehow got him. So it's super cool. Hopefully this continues a trend of doing more Friends of the Pod episodes with former players and people that we know and can get connected to. So yeah, big game week. We got a big surprise for y'all. But in the meantime, big game week means there's a lot of things happening all throughout. I mean, we're recording this on Monday night. The cable car rally at Ghirardelli Square, the Union Square rally at Union Square in San Francisco has already happened today. This pod will probably go up on Tuesday. So Tuesday, 11 to 6, there's a blood drive at Poly Ballroom, not Poly Pavilion. Poly Ballroom, MLK Student Center on campus. And then 1 to 3, there's a Give 'em the Axe at Memorial Glade. Wednesday, there's the big sale at the St. Francis Yacht Club. At noon, there's the tree chopping rally at Sproul Hall. And then 7 p.m., there's a women's basketball game again, Scrambling State. Go watch them. They're awesome this year. Thursday, 7 p.m., men's basketball against Air Force. Also great. And then 8 p.m. is the night rally, where they go around. So they start at Bulls Hall, runs through campus, City of Berkeley, ends at Unit 3 Courtyard. Friday, you have the noon rally at noon. Women's basketball against Auburn at 6. And then also at 6, you have the big game rally at the Greek Theater starting about 7, but doors open at 6. Of course, and then you got the big game on Saturday at 12:30.
There's actually one more I'm going to add in there, which I'm partaking in.
Which
is former Cal band member LP Giobbi or Giobbi. Oof, I don't know. I think it's Giobbi. LP Giobbi is playing the Fox on Friday night.
The same time as the big game rally?
Yeah, so that will be my big game rally. We'll be going and listening to her set, which is a huge homecoming for her. And yeah, amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if she's at the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's wanted. I mean, the game's sold out, by the way. The only way you can get tickets is via SeatGeek.
Good luck.
So good luck getting tickets if you haven't gotten tickets at the beginning.
Don't buy them off Facebook Marketplace. Whatever you do,
no, do not do that. Do not do that.
Don't get scammed like me.
Do not do that. But okay, Andy, how do you think the big game's gonna play out this year? Just to close.
Little prediction. Man, I think it'll be closer than I think the rain is for a team that can't run the football. The rain is not a good omen, right? So I think that has me thinking close game. But I think Cal takes it. I'm not positive. I don't know, but I'm a little more nervous this year. I think especially after Stanford beat Louisville. The rain is not good. I think without the rain, I was thinking like 10-point win. But now with the rain, I'm thinking toss up because could be a 4-point game, something like that. Don't know who's like in favor of whom.
Okay.
You?
My thing is, I'll give you a little bit of uplifting stats, Andy. S&P Plus. Something that you and I both are
stop that.
believers
It didn't
in.
work last week.
I'm not saying it didn't work last week. I'm just saying
Did not work last week.
I know. Before the game last week, Cal was ranked 30th. I think they dropped to 32nd or 36th after the Syracuse
I don't
loss.
know why Bill Connolly loves our team so much. I just watched that team. There's a lot of concerns.
Syracuse is around 60. Okay, give or take.
Yeah.
You want to guess where Stanford's at?
109, 105.
120.
120? How did they beat Louisville?
Well, they beat Louisville because Louisville got an unsportsmanlike conduct and then jumped off sides. But
Are you calling blowout?
I don't know. I mean, the rain is, any type of weather is just an equalizing factor. But there is no reason we should lose this game by, any metric. Of course, when the football's played, who knows, because it's a rivalry game. But by any metric, this should not be a close game. I think we have the talent advantage across the board. The Oregon State type of thing. We have the execution. They basically don't have anyone that can throw, and they basically also don't have anyone that can catch. So
that helps.
Yeah, that helps. That helps. Yeah. So those are our takes. Anything else? Should we close this out?
We're wrapping.
All right, well, that wraps it up for us on the Golden Bearcast. And as always, you can email us, goldenbearcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter @GoldenBearcast. You can also find us now on Blue Sky at Golden Bearcast. Yeah, I created an account for us. Just in case Twitter goes to shit and we need to hop on to Blue Sky just to stay connected with folks, I made an account for us. So we're all there. And then, yeah, you can find all our written stuff at writeforcalifornia.com. If you ordered the Warriors World shirts and hoodies and all that, you should be starting to get them. I've seen people start to get theirs and post on social media that they've started to receive theirs. It's great. So if you haven't, I believe there's still a few left on the website, so you can go check out shopwarriorsworld.net. But if not, we might have more drops coming. Can neither confirm nor deny. And yeah, that's pretty much all the news. It's big game week, folks. Give him the axe. The axe stays at home. It's gonna be a fun week.
Keep the axe. Retain the axe.
Retain the axe. And as always, folks, go Bears.
Go Bears.
Your time and expertise are valuable, making Focus one of the most important resources to have at work. These days, professionals spend nearly half the work week on written communication, and it can be difficult to stay on task with all the emails and documents you have to get through. With Grammarly as your AI writing partner, you can stay focused and quickly get through your work with relevant real-time suggestions wherever you write. It works across 500,000 apps and websites, so it can help with everything from brainstorming presentation ideas to sounding more confident and persuasive in emails and reports. For 15 years, Grammarly has offered best-in-class communication support and enterprise-grade security on a business model that doesn't sell your data. 93% of professionals report that Grammarly helps them get more work done. Download Grammarly for free at grammarly.com/podcast. That's GRAMMARLY.com/podcast.